I figured I would take advantage of the fact that this is the last day of the pre-spring break period here in your former high school, and I have just finished another day of the life of being a teacher. So I figured I would take a moment and just record a little message on the old work laptop. So, hey, what's going on? Caught your last video, and I decided to take the opportunity, since you were about a week off, to delay the whole thing by about a week. I hope you don't mind, because that's what happened. So deal with that. But yeah, it seems like you've had a busy couple of weeks. I do like the concept of a giving day. I get calls fairly regularly from the Stony Brook Alumni Association, and they always want to chat me up. They always want to know how I'm doing, what I'm doing with my life. Sometimes they offer to take me out for a cup of coffee. All of those things happen, and I always interrupt them and I say, I've gotten 3 different degrees from you and an additional 2 professional certificates. In my opinion, I have given all that I need to give to you, Stony Brook University, and that always takes the poor person who's on the phone a little bit aback, but then my conversation is over until the next time they call. So we all have it in slightly different ways of being, and I guess that yours is giving day. I like your take on the protests. I do agree that, first of all, the demand to lower all fees is ridiculous. I would imagine that if you took many of those students who were protesting and asked if they enjoyed their college educations, they would probably say that yes, indeed they do. And of course, that requires a certain amount of money to be utilized. So I know, for instance, you enjoyed your trip to the Galapagos, right? And of course, the money is probably not directly connected, but it's all connected if you follow it back far enough. And so I think you're of the right mind on that. I think really, short of campus police doing something horrible or those kinds of things, there's really nothing quite as quaint as a college protest, particularly at an Ivy League. My suggestion would be to combine the Dragon Day celebrations with the protests and just use the dragon to stage a protest. I actually think it'd probably be more effective than just listening to a bunch of whining elite college students just whine about their eliteness. Yeah, so that's my take on it. I also like your notion of don't call people names on Twitter if you want them to do stuff. I agree with you. I think that there's a way to call people names that is diplomatic, and then there's a way to call people names that is not diplomatic. And I think that if you do it diplomatically, you get away with a lot more than if you do it undiplomatically. The New York teacher's letter that I was a part of, I think, did a really good job of making firm points diplomatically without resorting to sort of ad hominem name calling, which I think is definitely something you want to avoid wherever possible. So that's kind of my take on it. So yeah, my life is about to get a little bit more stretched out. My sister is coming in. She'll be up from Florida for the next 5 days or so, and then we're going to go upstate. We'll actually be not too far away from you, over in Saratoga, just kind of hanging out for the rest of the vacation, and then back in like 1 more week of AP, and then we're into exam review. Chemistry's wrapping up. The year is really just drawing to a close. So yeah, that's it, man. I hope everything is still well with you, and that your trip home went well, and that you are looking at the last push of your spring sophomore semester with the kind of verve that it requires. All right, boss, take it easy, and I'll talk to you in some order of weeks down the road. Bye.